oh my God. I've literally just been sitting here for 5 minutes trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to say about that, and oh my God is the only thing I can come up with. That is why we love football. That game has took me through every single emotion as a United fan, from this is the most despicable, disgraceful, pathetic showing I've ever seen from a Jose Mourinho Manchester United side, to when Matic rifles that into the side netting. Oh my fucking God, what a goal. I don't even know where to start talking about this. What I will say is, when Smalling scored, I wasn't entirely confident that we was going to go on and win the game, but I thought it gives us a lifeline. When we got the second goal, when Lukaku put that one in, I knew there was only one team that was going to win that. All the pressure was going United's way. All of the attacks was United's way. And we've seen this happen with United at times as well, where Crystal Palace shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and shrunk and was literally just trying to defend for their lives, that you knew there was going to be a chance, could we put it away. I didn't expect Nemanja Matic on the edge of the box to absolutely rifle one in the way he did. And I am almost at a loss for words, because you can't even say this was a game of two halves, because we didn't really turn up until when did... I mean, Chris Smalling's goal didn't really come from a lot of pressure, to be honest. I think we only started turning the pressure on around about the 70th, 75th minute mark. When we made the subs... Do you know what? It was when we made the subs. When we made the subs, when we put Luke Shaw on, when we put Juan Mata on, that was the only time that we started to really look like we had some impetus going forward. And it took me through the whole range, because in that first half, it was dreadful. Ashley Young couldn't find Townsend if he had both hands on a map. He was nowhere near him. He was nowhere near him for the goal, and there's time and time and time again where he was absolutely nowhere near him. I'm going to do an analysis video on my channel, so if you want to come and subscribe to my channel, I'll throw it up there tomorrow. You can come and check that out, and I'm going to highlight to you I'll use the screenshots, just how many times Ashley Young is out of position. And that's my major problem with Ashley Young as a Manchester United player, that his defensive positioning is garbage. I know people are going to say, well, he's a winger. Yeah, exactly. But he's still being picked as a fullback for Manchester United when you've got Luke Shaw. Now, if Luke Shaw's not able to maintain fitness, if he's not able to get through a game, then I understand Jose Mourinho's reluctance to pick him. But there is no way that you can compare Luke Shaw and Ashley Young as left-backs for me. None whatsoever. The apologists for Ashley Young will pull out that he throws in one decent cross every 4 games as some sort of mitigation for the reason that he starts so many games. But it's absolutely not good enough. He wouldn't have got in this Crystal Palace side tonight ahead of Van Arnold. Not a chance would that have happened. He doesn't produce anywhere near as good performances going forward or coming backwards. The first half is a comedy of errors, and this back four is a comedy of errors. Valencia has got a mistake in him. Again, a converted forward that's playing as a fullback and doing a pretty decent job of being solid, but there's occasional errors in there because he's not spent a lifetime playing as a fullback. Chris Smalling's got errors in him all day long. Lindelof is still learning, and I think alongside someone like Chris Smalling is a problem. I think alongside someone like Abeyi might be a bit of a different story, but right now he's playing alongside Chris Smalling, so there's errors in him. I don't think there's a leader in the back line. I think if you had a real leader, and I think Bailly could be that guy, then you could maybe see Lindelof paired with him. But there's still mistakes in him. And Ashley Young, defensive errors in him all day long. You cannot go and attempt to win a title on a back four that is so error-strewn. The only way you can get away with it is doing what Man City are doing and just be so good with the ball at your feet that you defend by having the ball. And you don't let the opposition have the ball, and that's how you cover up for the fact you've got a shite defence. United somehow are keeping clean sheets and managing to win games for one reason, and that is David De Gea being almost inhuman. I think he's possibly at fault for one of the goals, but the saves that he pulls out on a consistent week-by-week basis is ridiculous. Is there anybody in doubt about how good David De Gea is at the moment? Anybody? The guy is the best in the world. Undoubtedly the best in the world. All these other keepers that you talk about, Buffon plays behind the best defence and the team that absolutely moonwalks the league in Italy every single year. Ter Stegen, similar. He gets about 5 shots a year on him. Similar for Neuer. No one is putting up with the amount of trade that David De Gea has to put up with and pulling out just the sheer quality of saves that he pulls out on a game-by-game basis. It's not even once a month. It's not even once every 3 months. He's game-by-game with him at the moment. He's absolutely otherworldly. I can only really talk about the first half because it was so chaotic in the second half that I don't even really know how to describe what we saw happening. We just went for it and it paid off. In the first half, Paul Pogba was gash. McTominay was gash. Lukaku was gash. Sanchez was gash. The defence was gash. And at half-time I said, Jose Mourinho really needs to earn his money here. He needs to change the concentration. He needs to change the shape. He needs to change the attitude of the players. And fair play, he did that. With one change, changing McTominay for Rashford, moving back to the 4-2-3-1. Didn't solve us getting overrun in the middle because of how compact Crystal Palace was, really. We only really started to get ahead of them when we flooded forward and just had superior manpower in and around the places that we needed to have it. But Rashford coming on give us that real steel determination, that speed in the final third. Someone who's so direct that something has to happen. And I think the introduction of Rashford probably was the catalyst for us going on and winning the 3 points. Not a great performance by anybody in the grand scheme of things. I struggle to pick a man of the match, in all honesty. A phenomenal goal from Matic, but was quite exposed apart from that for the rest of the game. Lingard didn't really do anything. Sanchez didn't really do anything. The whole back four was horrible. Maybe Dave, because at the time that he made that save, United are in the hunt for going on and winning that game. If he doesn't make that save, perhaps United lose that game and can't get back into it. So maybe Big Dave for that one save. Lukaku had an extremely quiet game. I'm not sure if that was... I think it was isolation again, but you still got to work at that. It didn't bode well. The first half really didn't bode well. I don't know if some of the players was thinking, do you know what, we've got Liverpool and somewhere in the mind they're sitting there in their underpants eating Buenos. I don't know. I don't know if they're just like completely checked out thinking Liverpool's such a massive game that we need to be focusing on that one. Or I don't know if they just assumed Crystal Palace are terrible and we can just turn up and beat them. I don't know what it was, why United was so bad. Because this is virtually the same lineup, apart from an injury to Marshall, a team that had an excellent performance against Chelsea at the weekend. And I've seen a few people saying that it wasn't an excellent performance, and I really don't understand what you guys was watching if you didn't think that was an excellent performance. It was excellent tactically. It took us a little bit of a while in the first half, maybe the first 20 minutes or so, to get the shape right that Jose was looking for, but I thought it was such a professional performance from United and an exciting game. That I really expected more from United going into this. I was like, do you know what? Let's go out of Crystal Palace, turn up, 4-0 FC them, tear them apart, and then let's bring on Liverpool on Saturday at Old Trafford. That was what I was hoping for. That was what I was expecting, to be honest. I honestly thought United could turn up tonight and do them, and maybe the players felt the same way as well. Wasn't to be the case. They made us work for it, and boy did they make us work for it. We came from 2 goals down to score 3 goals in a row and win the game. That's pretty impressive in the grand scheme of things. We haven't done that enough. I don't really want to see us doing it much, but do you know what I mean? It's shown a real fight from us. So that's pleasing, but the performance tonight, one of the worst I've seen from Jose Mourinho. How we managed to come away for the 3 points, I don't know. But we're getting to the point of the season where it's results that matter, not the performances. If we manage to shithouse our way to a win against Liverpool on Saturday, no one's going to be arsed. It's all about getting the win and hopefully shutting them up a little bit. We keep our second place for now. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comments. Why do I think Young is starting over Shaw? I don't think Jose trusts Shaw. I don't think he trusts him to carry out his instructions. But I don't see anything from Ashley Young that shows me that he's carrying out the instructions. So I just don't understand it. I don't know if maybe he's just fitter. Is that it? Is he just fitter? If that's the one, then that's the one. Kobe says, where is Bailly? I assume Bailly's just not fit enough to be starting 90 minutes. And I think if we've got the opportunity to play him against Liverpool, he can only play one game this week. He plays that game. He plays against Liverpool for me all day long because that's where we need him. Kathy Kayan says, Pogba and Sanchez lost control of the ball too much and Dave saved us one outstanding one soon after scored. Mint. Yeah, they did lose control of the ball a lot, but I generally don't have a problem with if people are losing the ball in the final third trying to make something happen. You have to do risky shit to try and make something happen in the final third. And that is a little bit where Sanchez loses the ball. The difference I have is if centre-halves are losing the ball with the frequency that Sanchez is when they've just got a quick 5-yard pass to the side, that boils my piss. Ashley Young doing it when he's playing people in like Dele Alli, that boils my piss. when you're trying to make something happen at the other end, I'm okay with that, because for too long under Louis van Gaal, Manchester United would always play the safe pass in the final third. And the defence can read that shit. You need a player that's willing to take risks. And I don't think it's working just yet with Sanchez. I think there's some sort of gameplay and training needs to be honed in a little bit better than it currently is. And if we can do that, then I think Sanchez is going to be a great signing for Manchester United. But it's just not clicking yet. And I think it will click, but it's going to click. Why was Lingard at right back? Because we went for it, mate. He wasn't really at right back, was he? He was on the right-hand side of the pitch. He was going for it. Teams know that we don't attack from the first minute, so they take advantage of that. I disagree, to be honest with that. We definitely didn't set up to park the bus against Crystal Palace, did we, mate? I mean, is that what you're suggesting? Our Lord and Saviour Matic. Can we just talk about how good that goal was? Football is all about the goals. Now, that is how you win a game, isn't it? Now, can you imagine that gets pulled up for VAR somehow? Can you imagine that happens? And now we're all like, oh, waiting for the result. Waiting. Oh, it's a goal. You take the goals out of football, there is no game. VAR needs to fuck right off, because that's what it's going to take out of the game. Sanchez is a winger, not a number 10. I would disagree. I think he's a number 10. Smalling was man of the match, says Rari. Say what now? Jose threw caution to the wind and got a result. He does it quite often. He doesn't really get the credit for it when he does it. Screamer, says the normal gamer. It was... I could only swear. I could only swear looking at it. Best goal I've seen this season, quite possibly. Come on, lads. Come on, the lads need a slow start. Matic is class. Don't know what that means. Matic scores superb goals. Mata is so important to us. Wonder why he's being dropped, says Chetan. I think he's being dropped as we're trying to accommodate a lot of players in similar areas, like Sanchez, like Marshall, like Rashford, like Lingard. People who are in form. We've got too many players for positions that aren't really working. Excuse me. And it's the other areas of the pitch where we're so thin and people aren't in form that we're not able to do them. No more Smalling and Young. That entire back four, just... I think why I woke my neighbours up, says Anatu. Need a new left back, says Ross. I saw that goal coming from Matic, same as the FA Cup last season. First time we've through the sink and won with Jose? Absolutely not, mate. Is it the first game you've watched? Someone mentioning about the grey kit. Yeah, I don't like this kit. I really don't like this kit. I like the sentiment that it represents, but no. That De Gea say, though, absolutely. Absolutely. Rashford should start regularly. Rashford's been injured. That's the reason why he's not been playing very often at the moment. Don't believe the hype and all these Sky pundits that are telling you he needs to get rid to go and get games and stuff. Rashford's happy where he is and he's getting game time and he's obviously improving and proving that he's got the ability to do stuff. I love the matter, says Bad Brab. Would I start Bay or Lindelof against Liverpool? Do you know what I actually really think United lacked tonight, at least in the first half? And it's terrifying that this is the case, but it's Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick is the player that we've not replaced, and he retires in weeks now. It's literally weeks away from Michael Carrick retiring, and we haven't replaced anyone with that composure and that sort of incisive, intelligent vision from the number 6 position. We really need to replace Michael Carrick. Someone who can control a game from deep. My vote is Toni Kroos or Weigl from Dortmund. There's a couple of players that could do it. But we need someone who's in that top-class bracket. I don't think we can wait for anyone to get to there. We really need someone that can just come and jump in. Yes, the Crystal Palace right-back, whose name I'm not going to attempt. He had an excellent game tonight. He might push Timbo inside and play alongside him. He played fantastic tonight. Right, I am going to wrap it up there, but thank you guys for watching. Come and subscribe to me on my channel. Just search Stephen Howson on YouTube and you'll find my channel there. And tomorrow I'll be doing an analysis video looking at all the mistakes that we're making defensively, because I think the errors in our defensive line is what's really going to cost us in the running for this season. And after all the positivity of the Chelsea win, where I thought it gives me confidence going into the latter stages of Europe, that kind of got dashed away. But at least we finished on a high and we managed to turn it around and show that we've still got some fight in us. Thank you guys for joining us. Fan cams will be on their way pretty soon, and I will see you in the next one. Laters.